Okay, we're picking up part two of the Dennis Johnson family, 1964 to 1967. This will be at my great-grandmother's house. Her name was Frona Narcissus Lovelace. And she was 91 when she died. This is Nan here, right here. We're all up at Granny's house. That's what we call it, Granny's house. That's Nan. There's Curtis and me that's me on the right. That's my Nan. And there's Frona Lovelace. Very long hair, very religious woman. My dad, smoking. Grandpa, that's her husband. Ben Lovelace is his name. Nan again. And there's my mom. And my sister sticking her tongue out next to Granny, up at Granny's house. My sister sticking her tongue out. There's my great-grandfather, Ben Lovelace. He was a he drilled water wells. And there we are, the kids, me and my sister. Typical 60s garb for kids. There's Curtis. And Grandpa sitting in that chair. He loved that chair. There's Granny. Long, silver gray hair. We're just sitting there chilling out on God knows what day. My mom, Cindy, Nan in the back. There's Curtis. We're all just hanging out at Granny's house. They had a little cracker shack. That's her. Ben Lovelace again, making fun of Pops as always. And there's Granny again. And she gets a good laugh here for some reason. I'm not really sure what that. Maybe she's just laughing at Grandpa for having that hat on. No teeth, of course. Combing her hair. Like I say, she was 91. She was a very religious woman, very religious. Every Sunday she went to church. We're just kind of hanging out there. There's my mom, Nan, Granny, Lola. That was Bud's second wife. His first wife was named Valerie, and they had a child called Pam. This was Curtis's mother. It was Bud's second wife, Lola. There's Bud, being his typical cool self. Uncle Bud, and there's Ben again, Ben Lovelace. And then this is, again, we're still at the house. You can barely see the lighting, it's maybe not too good. But there we are, and my dad coughing, smoked cigarettes his whole life, and died from cancer. We're just hanging out. It looks like we're hanging out at Clyde and Ruby's house. This was their house. It was right next to my great-grandparents' house. It was right down the road. There's Pop trying to give my grandmother a cigar. There's grandmother, or Nan with a cigar, and there's Pop trying to give her a cigar. They're sitting in the chair just fooling around, being silly. And that's me. Yep. My sister, my dad, and my brother, who had just played a baseball game, so he's laying in the other room kind of taking a nap, and he's getting up from his nap. And there's Mom, and now we're all just kind of sitting on my brother. Looked like he just woke up. Played Little League Baseball. Check out that lamp. It doesn't look too happy. They must have lost. Mom, my dad, my mom, Cindy sticking out her tongue, me, and now we're moving on to something else. I'm not really sure what it is. Let me stop it here. See if I can move it forward a little bit. Some of this didn't turn out too well, so I'm gonna have to bear with me here and be a little patient. Looks like we're up at the lake place, so fishing. And come on, back to regular life here. Let's go. Get something going. They love to fish. We fished all the time, and obviously my dad was having trouble with this camera this day. I'm not really sure. I'm trying to get it fast forwarded here so we can get past all this stuff. They had a wonderful life. These are wonderful years for them. Looks like we're at the beach or something. Can't really tell there. And I do apologize. There we go. So here we are fishing again. This is Lake Panasoffkee again. Love the fishing. That's Aunt Nell up in Brooksville. I'm not sure who some of these folks are. We went up to Brooksville and had many family family reunion dinners. That's my grandfather Clyde. He was a big part of that. That's Aunt Leela. I don't know who that is. There's a Ben Lovelace again. That fellow right there, his name is Sid, and I'm sure who the bottom of the fellow is. That old fellow right there on the left is Sid. Old country boy. Sid. Now that fellow's name is also Sidney. There's my dad. They're sitting on the back of a flatbed truck and next to, that's my grandparents' house up in Brooksville. We're all sitting out front just kind of having food and getting together, and under a big oak tree. There's my grandfather right there, Pop. He lived in those colors, his blue hat, blue shirt, and blue pants. That was his work outfit. He always had a cigar going. I think her name was Aunt Edna. I'm not really sure. There's Billy. Billy was a little special. He wasn't quite right. There's Granny again on her chair. And there's Aunt Leela was her name. And I'm not sure who some of these folks are. I'm not sure who that is. There's Aunt Leela. There's Lola on the far side. And this is the food. They have all the food on the table. There's Lola right there. Again, Bud's second wife. There's Granny. Again, we're all up in Brooksville just having a big Sunday get together. It's like a big feast is what it is. There's Sid sitting on the truck. Some other fellow, my dad. And there's Doyle again. Again, don't know who that person is. Aunt Leela. Don't know who that fellow is. But we would go up to Brooksville all the time and just have these big get-togethers on Sundays. There'd be tons of food. Everybody would come, and we'd all just sit around and eat. And there's Aunt Nell. That's my grandmother's sister from my mom's side. And there's Clyde again. Again, this is just they're all just getting together. They're probably having some sort of fish. The fish fries were really big. Fish fries were very big. So this might be a fish fry. And we're just kind of hanging out there in front of my grandparents' house. And there comes Lola with something. She's really proud of something here. That's their house in the back. That's my grandparents' house. It was in Brooksville, and boy, was it a cracker house. I'm not sure who this little girl is. That looks like that's Scooby Scooter there. Maybe, I don't know. There's Patty again, Doyle's wife. And that's her mother right there. I can't remember her name. There's Scooter again, sitting in those chairs. Look at those chairs. Typical 60s chairs. That is Eula May. There's Cleve. Clyde. Now it looks like we're all just kind of standing around. I'm not sure who that fellow's name was, but there you can see this is a cracker house, and we're all just, everybody, there's a baby there. I'm not sure who this baby is, but it was just a cracker house, and all the houses up there are cracker houses, and they had porches, and I mean, just like you think a cracker house is, it is. This is obviously one of Suzette's litters. Suzette lived to be an old poodle. She was 18 when she died. She had a full life, and she had so many litters of puppies. And I'm pretty sure we sold them. This car here is a Valiant, 63 Valiant. That is my father's brother, Uncle Gary, and his wife, Jeannie. And I'm not sure if the kids are in the back, but they're coming up to the lake place. They're driving up. And look at that car. Talk about good stuff. And there they go. Although it looks like my dad there in the seat. Maybe they were going somewhere. There's my dad again, hanging up there. And this is Lake Panasoffkee. The clouds on the back looks like it's ready to rain. But he loved that white cowboy hat too. He had that thing on all the time. They were all, of course, admiring the fish. Oh, mighty fish. Just a bass. Now this looks like, again, we're up there in Brooksville this time. It looks like we're at a fish fry. This definitely looks like a fish fry. And see there, looks like they're rinsing stuff out and they're all getting ready for it. There's Clyde. I'm not sure who somebody is, my dad. Clyde again. April, I think is this fellow's name. He's got the cowboy hat. Again, this is in the woods. Doyle. Poor Doyle. Sid. Uncle Sid is what we called him. Very old man, obviously. There's Ben Lovelace doing something. And we're all just sitting on the porch here, just visiting and having fun. And this is what we did. This is what happened. We all just sat around and talked. And there it looks like they're getting ready for the food. And again, this looks like a sort of a get together. There's Granny and Sid in the back. And they're all just kind of sitting around eating. A lot of this getting together on weekends or whatever, and everybody bring some food and all get together and visit and talk, and that's what that is. There's about at least a half dozen families that are involved here, all coming up here to go. It's in Brooksville, but you can see food was not a problem. Plenty of food. There's Sid. Trying to see who the people are here. I don't know any of these folks. And again, I don't know who that is. This was up in Brooksville. There were a lot of folks up in Brooksville that I didn't know their name because I was a kid. I mean, there was lots of folks. There's all the fish. And they would never fillet fish. We had fish with bones. That was just the way it was. I didn't even know you could fillet a fish till I was later. And here's, it looks like April. No, maybe is that April? I'm not sure. But he's eating, obviously, off of the porch there, and everybody's sitting in front of the porch eating, sitting off the porch. But you can see the Cracker House. I mean, it's just a Cracker House. And they were all, there's Benny. And that looks like Benny. That's Nell's second kid, Bud. Bud's wife, second wife. Not sure who that is. No, I don't know who that is at all. And that's Pam. Pam was my Uncle Bud's first child. She was the youngest. We used to all hang out. Pam, my sister, me, and my brother. We would all kind of hang out together. She was younger. She got married, moved up to South Carolina, and lived to the ripe old age of 60. She was a smoker, unfortunately, and she died pretty young, in her 60s, I think. But here she's just being a kid. Coming up. And there now Curtis and Pam are going to hold hands here, I think, and go look at the cows. There they go. Curtis is Lola's child. There's my mom, obviously with her bathing cap. You can see how big bathing caps were. Pretty ridiculous. Anyway, there we are. I'm going to go ahead and stop it here and pick it up later. So thank you. Part 2's now in the books.